Did Tom Ford just create the best vanilla fragrance for 2023? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're talking Tom Ford, and of course there has been so much anticipation for the new fragrance Vanilla Sex, and I have been wearing this fragrance for a week. Has it been a week? Almost a week. So I'm going to review this fragrance along with other fragrances that I have in my collection. We're going to talk about some of the best from Tom Ford, if they are worth the price point, the longevity, and all of that good stuff. So if you're excited for this video, definitely stay tuned. Also leave a comment down below. I would love to know, did you pick up the new fragrance from Tom Ford? Comment down below. Let me know your scent of the day. And if you're new, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. And within this video, we are doing a little giveaway, guys. I wanted to sprinkle a little giveaway. I'm going to give away a 30 ml bottle of Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. Okay, how to enter the giveaway will be in the description box, so make sure you read how to enter the giveaway and follow the rules, and I will directly contact you. Me, only me. Make sure that it is actually me that's contacting you. Good luck. Let's get ready to talk about this fragrance. So this is the new launch from Tom Ford, and it honestly came out of nowhere. I know that there was a little bit of a buzz, but I had no idea that this was going to be released just in time for the end of the year. Like December, we are worried about Christmas, and Tom Ford is like, no honey, you're gonna buy my new fragrance. And as soon as I saw this online, I was like, yep, I'm gonna have to try that. Now, we all know that Tom Ford definitely loves provocative sexual names for the fragrances, and that's what we got. We got Vanilla Sex. Now, the packaging will definitely get you, especially if you love neutral tones like I do. Not wearing neutrals today. You are going to adore the packaging. The bottle I will show you guys next, but this is the packaging over here, the outer packaging. I love the nude and the gold. I think that this is done perfectly. The marketing behind this is just, it's so good. Whoever decided on this color palette right over here. And then we have the bottle. Now, I bought myself the itty bitty 30 ml because, honey, she is pricey. Okay, Tom Ford's like, hey, if you want to smell like my fragrances, you got to cough up that money. And this one is a pricey one. I'm not even going to lie, a very expensive fragrance. So I did the 30 ml, and this is what she looks like in person. She's a beauty. She's so beautiful that I wish that I got the 50 ml because it's just stunning, and it would have went really well with all of my Tom Ford fragrances that are all 50 ml. But honey, she's a pretty penny. She is a pretty penny. But I did take advantage of the Sephora Fragrance for All event that got me 20% off. We love a good discount. Now, this scent over here, I'm going to spray it and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. I've already worn it outside of the house, so I will let you know the longevity and all of that good stuff. Okay, so this opens up very much almond. I do believe there is bitter almond in here, even though the website doesn't say it. You get a very harsh, bitter almond in the opening, and then you start to smell that very creamy vanilla, like almost like a gourmand vanilla, but it's not sugar sweet, but definitely a very creamy, authentic vanilla scent. This comes off slightly lactonic on my skin, with the almond being very much in the forefront. Like, that almond is not going away, almost very decadent and bitter at the same time. To me, it kind of reminds me of like an almond croissant. If you've ever had one of those, that's kind of the vibe that I get from this fragrance, without it leaning overly food-like. Like, to me, this is a gourmand, but in a very perfume way, because in the dry down, you get a slightly creamy, woody tone from that sandalwood essence, but it's not in the forefront. For me, in the dry down, and I have it sprayed right here, you are getting mainly the almond and the vanilla. So if that is your vibe, you are really going to love this fragrance with a more creamy tone to the fragrance. The texture of it is very much creamy. Now, I'm gonna be brutally honest and say that this is not completely complex, completely unique, but it is something that I personally enjoy. The DNA of this fragrance is something that is perfect for the colder months. I don't think I see myself wearing this during a hotter day because it does have quite an overwhelming creamy feel to it, and it's warm also, and maybe a little spicy. But all in all, I get this very warm, creamy almond and vanilla scent on my skin that works really well when it's cold outside, and it feels more cozy than it does sexy. Okay, so if you're thinking of getting this fragrance because you want to smell sexy, femme fatale vibes, I really don't get that tone in this particular fragrance. So I do feel like the naming of the fragrance is a bit deceiving for me because this feels more like a warm hug. It's more comforting, it's cozy. It definitely does, like, you know, just envelop you in the scent, but it's not giving me sexy vibes. Like, it's not giving me sex vibes at all, but it is a really beautiful vanilla and almond scent. For me, it's a love. I'm just putting it out there. For me, it's something that I see myself wearing over and over again during the winter time, and something that I can layer with other fragrances, even other Tom Ford fragrances, which I'll show you guys what I've layered this with, and it's worked out perfectly. I almost forgot that I had my mic there. And it's worked out really, really well. Now, the longevity, the projection, the performance, let's talk about that. This lasts on my skin. I have worn it outside of the house in a cold day. I've worn it on clothes. It definitely lasts longer on my clothes than it does on my skin. It projects more on clothes than it does on my skin. And the wear time for me, I got a good 7 to 8 hours. Now, mind you, I'm an oversprayer. What does that look like? At least 6 different sprays is gonna happen with this one. And for me, I got a good, I wanna say realistically, probably 6 to 7 hours of wear with Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex. On my clothes, I can definitely smell it the next day. I sprayed it on my sweater and the scent was still very much present on the sweater. So if you are the type to spray fragrances on your clothes, you're gonna get a good wear out of this fragrance, and it definitely projects a lot louder on clothes. With that being said, it is not a super beast mode projecting fragrance. It's not loud, okay? It's not something that is going to fill an entire room. It's not gonna make its mark before you enter the room. It's not that type of fragrance, but it definitely has a projection where if someone is talking to you, they will smell it on your clothes for sure, and on your skin for the first couple of hours, and then it becomes a skin scent. So if you only spray on your skin, for me, I can still smell it on my skin after a good 5 hours, but it's very much close to the skin. It is a skin scent, it's quite close, so it's more of an intimate kind of scent bubble if you're just spraying it on the skin. Now for me, I always do clothes and skin, a little on the hair, so I can make it work. And I think for me, 5 hours is really good for a fragrance. I don't really need my fragrances to last 24 hours. For me, if I'm going out for dinner, if I'm going to an event, if I'm going to a meeting, say, I really just need my fragrance to last like 3 hours max. I'm not going to be out and about like for 8 hours, but it is a fragrance that I find in terms of the projection and the lasting ability, it's there for me, but it's nothing beast mode. So this is a pricey fragrance, but you have to keep in mind you are paying for the name. It's Tom Ford. This is a very luxe brand, and we already know it's going to be pricey. Now, fragrances, along with other things like skincare, makeup, the prices have gone up extremely over the last year, and Tom Ford is no different. They have raised their prices, I want to say more than once this year. So I knew that this was not going to be a cheapie whatsoever. It wasn't going to be affordable whatsoever. This is definitely a pricey one. If you love Tom Ford fragrances, you're gonna enjoy this one. You're going to want it in your collection. If you have a fragrance collection like I do, we collect fragrances. We love our collections to look beautiful. We love all of the brands to go together. You're gonna want this fragrance. Is it pricey? Yes, and I hope that when you got it, you got that discount of 20% off, because it definitely made a huge difference. But if you are just trying your first Tom Ford fragrance, you want to proceed with caution. Okay, I definitely recommend going into stores, sampling the fragrances for yourself on your skin, let it sit there, walk around, and then come back to the store and decide which one is for you. I don't recommend blind buying a ton of Tom Ford fragrances because they are very polarizing. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. And the reviews on this one, I haven't watched too many. They're definitely mixed, but I wanna say majority is good. Majority people are liking this scent because the vanilla, for me personally, I definitely get a lot of the vanilla, but it's intertwined with that bitter almond. So you have to like that vibe. And when I smell this fragrance and think of my collection and think of fragrances that I have in my collection, I almost want to say Italica from Jerzoff reminds me of this scent profile. They don't smell the same, but that almond note in Italica is almost like the almond note in here. So they sort of remind me of each other, but they're not the same. Italica is definitely true gourmand through and through, while this one still leans very much a perfume. Now, I like this fragrance on its own. I have worn it on its own, but I definitely prefer it layered with other fragrances. I've layered it with Tobacco Vanille and it smells absolutely divine. Okay, these two smell incredible together. And I've also layered it with Lost Cherry. I like it. It wasn't my favorite layering combo, but they did go together really nicely. So those are the fragrances that I layered it with. Oh, and another fragrance that I layered it with was this one over here, Black Orchid. And these really went nicely together. So that's just the layering combo with the actual Tom Ford fragrances. For me, I'm gonna give this fragrance a solid 8 out of 10. It's not blowing my mind. It's not anything extraordinary, but as a collector, as someone that really loves Tom Ford fragrances, I really enjoy this one, and I definitely will be wearing it through and through throughout the winter. I don't see myself wearing it during spring and summer, but come fall and winter, this will be out and about. And I definitely see myself layering this with a ton of my other very warm, spicy, sweet fragrances. I feel like this will add a nice creamy tone to my fragrances along with that almond. I love almonds in my fragrance, especially for the winter time. So that's why for me, this is a hit, and I like the creaminess of this fragrance, and maybe the title Vanilla Sex comes from like the texture of this fragrance. It's quite creamy in the texture. So for me, this is a hit. For me, this is, I really like it. I don't love it yet, but I really am close. And those are my thoughts on this fragrance. I will link all of them down below in the description box if you are interested in this one. Last time I checked in the US website, it was, no, Canadian website, it was completely sold out. Hopefully it's back in stock when I upload this video. So while we're here, I thought I would chat a little bit about other Tom Ford fragrances and give you guys my spiel. One of my favorite Tom Ford fragrances is Tobacco Vanille. If you've been on this channel for a while, you know that I love this scent. I wear it so often during the winter time. I've worn it during the summer and it's worked out perfectly. I don't find it's too heavy or too cloying, and I always get compliments on Tobacco Vanille. This to me is a very unusual, unique gourmand scent. It smells gourmand. There's this sweetness to it that is very silky, and the tobacco in here is like sweet and wet and just, ooh, indulging almost. It's a fragrance that is quite unisex, but something about it gives me femme fatale vibes. I find that it's comforting yet sexy at the same time. It's one that I wear on its own. I hardly ever layer this one because I love the DNA of this fragrance, and it's one of my most long-lasting Tom Ford scents. Like, this will last really, really well on me. I don't need to necessarily overspray, and I think that the quality is really impeccable. And if you like more of a unique vanilla scent, this is definitely, to me, more unique than Vanilla Sex for sure. But today, you know, if I pair them, like I've already have Vanilla Sex on this one, try and do less of this one because it will overpower it. But they smell really luscious and delicious together, and kind of gives more of that sex appeal to Vanilla Sex when I layer these two together. So this is always one that I will recommend. But proceed with caution, because again, it's not for everyone, but I do find that it's a very unique, very high quality, absolutely beautiful. Next up is probably one of Tom Ford's most popular fragrance, and that is Lost Cherry. I'm glad that I have it in my collection, but I'll be honest, there are other cherry fragrances in my collection that I prefer over Lost Cherry, like Seven Virtues Cherry Ambition. That one just has this like a little bit more of what I was looking for in Lost Cherry. Maybe the sweetness from Cherry Ambition is what gets me. I'm not really sure, but this is still a really great cherry scent. The only thing is it's not extremely long lasting, and that's what people complain about when it comes to Tom Ford fragrances. They are very pricey, so you want the quality to be really up here, and sometimes it falls a little short. This is the case for Lost Cherry. This is a very cherry forward fragrance. It smells like sour cherry. It's a little sweet, a little boozy also in the dry down, and sort of woody and slightly smoky also. It's a more intense cherry fragrance. I find that it smells more grown than other cherry fragrances. Sometimes cherry, when it's done, it smells a little bit too like juvenile, and this one smells very much grown. This is a unisex fragrance, but I would recommend it more for women, and that's my thoughts on it. If you're looking for a more grown, slightly sexy cherry fragrance, this is a great one, but don't really think that this is going to be super long lasting, and a ton of people do complain about that. So I'm gonna be honest, this is not my most long lasting cherry fragrance for sure. Next up, we have probably the most polarizing fragrance from Tom Ford. Is it the most polarizing? He has a ton that are quite unusual, but Bitter Peach is one that you either love or you will hate. So proceed with caution. Right now, there's a big buzz that this is one of Beyonce's favorite fragrance. I don't know if it's completely true, but there's a buzz, and I see why. It's unique. Not everyone is walking around smelling like Bitter Peach. I'll tell you that much. This to me is a really great fall and winter fragrance because it's quite sweet. It's dense. It's more heavy. This smells like a very ripe peach, almost to the borderline of going bad, if you will. There is a touch of greenness in here too. I don't know if it's patchouli or what, but I get some sort of greenness in this fragrance. But all in all, what you're gonna get with Bitter Peach is this very overripe, juicy, like it's very juicy, it's oozing, like the juices are oozing out of that peach kind of fragrance. It's very creamy. Also, it's very much a gourmand scent because that peach is in the forefront. It is fruity. It's a fruity scent, but it's not like, ooh, sweet and fruity and girly and bubbly. No, this is very much a deep, creamy scent for me, and I really like it for the winter. I find that it is a little sexy, like there's something about it that's giving me sexy vibes, and it's a fragrance that, again, not everyone is wearing. It's definitely, you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. So sample this one before you buy. For me, Bitter Peach lasts really long on me. Same with Tobacco Vanille. I would say Bitter Peach is right up there. It lasts forever. It has a really large projection, and it's quite loud. It's quite loud, so I don't need to overspray it. I think when I overspray it, it can become a little bit too cloying, so I don't tend to overspray Bitter Peach. But for date night, I have worn it and it smells really intoxicatingly good, especially if you even layer it with something a little bit more caramelly. It just balances this fragrance. Like even Gourmand Escapade or Escapade Gourmand, whatever it's called, layer it with this one. It's beautiful. Or even Bianco Latte would mesh well with this one. if you like more lactonic, creamy fragrances, that texture, you might really enjoy that layering combo. But yeah, this is Bitter Peach. To me, this is very unique. It's very standalone. If you feel like your fragrances all smell the same and you want something that's just gonna break that apart and give you something unique, I would highly recommend this one. But again, you want to sample before you buy a full-size bottle. But luckily, Sephora, if you don't like something, you can always return it. So, you know, that's the good thing about Sephora. Even your fragrances, you can go ahead and return. The next scent is Soleil Blanc, and this is one of my first Tom Ford no, I think this is my second Tom Ford fragrance, but from like the private line, this was my first Tom Ford fragrance, and I love this one for summertime. This smells like a luxurious vacation on a yacht. There's something about it. There's a ton of fragrances out there that have that like sunscreen type of vibe. This one just smells luxurious. It smells elevated. It is creamy, slightly coconutty, and it just smells really, really luscious. It reminds you of summertime, but in the most luxurious way. This one I always recommend. It's one that I definitely overspray. I'm not afraid to overspray her, but I feel like it lasts really well. It's just not super projecting, but it becomes a skin scent, but it lasts nicely. Not every time I want to wear a fragrance it's going to project like crazy, so I don't mind it. But if I overspray, I even layer it with the body shimmer. You could do the body oil or the body lotion. You could spray a little on your hair and it will project a lot louder. But this is definitely one for the summertime. I don't wear it any other season. Once summer hits, I am spraying this all over, especially if I know I'm going to be out at the beach or even on a boat. This is just the perfect vacation scent. If you have a tropical vacation coming up, get this. And it's just so balanced. Like there's a bit of creaminess, there's a bit of sweetness, there's freshness in this one too. It's a little citrusy at the same time. It's beautiful, and it's the epitome of a summer vacation fragrance. So love, love, love this one so much. And then we have Santal Blush. This is one of my favorite sandalwood fragrances. It's done in the most perfect way. I believe that this bottle is discontinued. Now Santal Blush comes in the black bottles, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I'm so glad that I was able to snag up this bottle because I just think that it is perfection. I love the transparency. I love the color of the juice. It is just so, so beautiful. Like I said, this is very much a musky sandalwood fragrance. It's very beautiful as a signature scent. To me, it smells quite elegant and refined. It's one of those fragrances when you don't like too much of like floral, too woody, like you don't want like a traditional, you just want to smell good. Like you smell clean, you smell elegant, put together, a little bit more minimalistic. This is the fragrance for you, honey. It's like creamy, slightly woody, and musky. Oh, it's so good. If you've ever smelled another 13 from Le Labo, it kind of has that vibe, but Le Labo's one is more sharp, I want to say, in the musky tone, while this one is just it has like a very creamy, light, airy texture, and it smells incredibly clean and fresh and just all of the above. It smells very luxurious, very, very luxurious. And I can see a ton of people wearing this as a signature scent. It's completely unisex. It's, to me, very easy as a gift also when it comes to Tom Ford fragrances. These two would probably be my go-to gift giving when it comes to Tom Ford fragrances, Santal Blush and Soleil Blanc, because they're very easy to enjoy. And by the way, guys, I have layered these on an evening in the summertime. I've layered these two and they smell really well together. Santal Blush just adds more creaminess. It adds a little bit more oomph to Soleil Blanc for evening wear during the summertime. It smells very luxurious together, extremely luxurious. So pair these two if you haven't already, but these are definitely ones that I will always recommend. And when it comes to blind buying, I would say these two are the safest blind buys for Tom Ford. Mind you, I haven't smelled all of Tom Ford fragrances, but these two are definitely ones that I really, really love. And then last but not least, I'm going to talk about Black Orchid. I don't know if this is discontinued. I don't think so, but this is another very polarizing fragrance. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. I honestly haven't worn this scent in a very long time. So let me get familiar with it all over again and remind myself of this fragrance. The bottle is beautiful. I love this bottle. Ooh. This smells very unusual. Like, it's so unique that I honestly cannot really describe what I'm smelling. It's a little sweet and kind of spicy, very warm also, and a little animalic on my skin. Probably not my vibe right now, but if you like an animalic fragrance, it smells very, almost like a bit more Middle Eastern vibes to me. It's not a crowd-pleasing scent. So proceed with caution. This is very, very polarizing. And it's, you know, I have moments with my fragrance where I love them and then I hate them and then I don't care about them. This one is one that I probably wouldn't wear right now. So guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and saw something new and cool today. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. I'd love to know if you picked up the new Tom Ford fragrances or what's your favorite from Tom Ford. Leave a comment down below. And with that being said, I do have a giveaway today. One lucky winner will get Soleil Blanc as a gift. Yes, a full Soleil Blanc bottle of your own. I have a 30 ml bottle to give away. So leave a comment down below. All the rules will be listed down in the description box. So read, make sure that you are following the rules, and I will select a winner and I will directly message you. Make sure that you are reading the comment section and make sure that I'm the one that is messaging you. A lot of the times you get spam comments and that is not me. So I will leave all the details to enter this giveaway down in the description box as well as in the comment section. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you all on the next one. Ciao!